SCPs come in all shapes and sizes, and we've covered tons of them on our channel. From the SCP that looks like a 3-year-old girl to the SCP that starts with a rain made up of a mix of saltwater, blood, and cerebrospinal fluid, I really thought we hit the peak, until I stumbled upon SCP-701. Have you ever heard of a piece of literature that, when performed, will not only end with the entire cast of the play deceased, but possibly spread some sort of mind-altering disease? More specifically, after watching said play, will turn the audience members into violent beings, attacking anyone and anything near them for no apparent reason. Well, that's exactly what SCP-701 is. A play that has the power of a god, and we're going to deep dive into what this SCP is and what would happen if SCP-701 was real. Welcome back to LBQ, I'm your host Jared Bronstein, and once again we'll be expanding our SCP knowledge. As always, a friendly reminder to subscribe and click that bell icon to never miss a video. Hit that thumbs up button if you enjoy these SCP-themed videos, and let us know in the comments below which SCP we should cover next. Of course, I'll be replying to some of your more clever comments from a previous video at the end of this one, but for now let's get right into it and discover what life would be like if SCP-701 were in fact real. So as I mentioned, SCP-701 is a play. It's titled The Hanged King's Tragedy. It's a 5-act play that is set sometime in the 1600s or the Caroline era. Upon being performed, both the cast and crew as well as audience members will start to behave in erratic ways, both violent and suicidal. Regardless of the relationship, audience members will start attacking each other for reasons unknown. Another important detail is throughout the performance, a shadow-like mysterious figure will appear on stage periodically, which is classified as SCP-701-1. At the end of the play, after all cast members are deceased on stage, SCP-701-1 will then appear in the middle of the stage between the corpses, watching as the audience members fight each other. However, outbreaks don't necessarily always occur following a performance. Statistically, according to the SCP Foundation, outbreaks occur 36.78% of the time, based on an unknown amount of performances. Unfortunately, a lot of information regarding SCP-701 has been blacked out or expunged. However, based on previous reports, we know how the outbreak usually begins. 7 to 14 days leading up to opening night, during dress rehearsals, cast members will start to deviate from the script, but rather than it seem like the actors are improvising scenes or going off the cuff, these deviations will be very consistent with the story of the play, and it will seem as if they're reciting text from a newer version of the play's script. The entire production of the play will seem unaware of any changes from the original script, and if the change is brought to their attention by someone, they will state the play has always run that way. The outbreak usually does occur, if at all, on opening night or the night when the audience's attendance has reached its peak. An hour to 2 hours prior to the outbreak, SCP-701-1 will appear throughout the performance. It may appear to enter and exit stage, but it will never be seen backstage, and cast members do not comment or notice SCP-701-1 at first. The event will officially start during the banquet scene of Act 5 of the performance. During this act, every member of the cast will either murder each other or commit suicide while on stage. Members of the audience will then grow increasingly violent, attacking each other randomly. After the event, if any of the audience members survive, they will then leave the theater or space where the performance was, and continue engaging in random acts of violence until they are restrained or sedated. Approximately after 24 hours of the event, those affected by the outbreak who have been restrained or sedated will begin to act normally again. Of those who make a recovery from the event, some may have no recollection of the event even taking place, while others will show signs consistent with victims of trauma. The most unfortunate of those who do survive will be permanently in a comatose state or considered psychotic. Of course, the SCP Foundation has given its agents strict orders to cover up and suppress any performances of the Hanged King's Tragedy, and for the most part, they've been successful. Majority of the 1971 publications of the play were destroyed before distribution. That being said, copies of the 1965 version have been found quite regularly in both colleges and high schools. Foundation agents are to obtain and destroy any copies they come across immediately. More specifically, it seems the play is most popular in the United Kingdom and the United States. Although a ton of information has been retracted, the first known outbreak on record occurred during the 1800s in the USA. Throughout the 1900s, other outbreaks have been recorded taking places all over the United States, from small theaters to university performances. A performance of the play was to be broadcasted on television nationwide, but the Foundation shut it down before the performance aired. Currently, there are 5 known copies of the play dating back to 1640, and with the most recent being from 1971. There are also copies that have been mistitled or with improper spelling that those who are a part of the Foundation also need to be aware of. So now that you have a rough understanding of this SCP, which is simply a piece of literature that somehow is able to control others, let's talk about what would happen if it were in fact real. If you've watched some of our previous SCP videos or you know about the Foundation, then you know they tend to conceal evidence from the public. More specifically, when events such as SCP-701 happen, the Foundation finds ways to cover up the truth. Whether that means denying the event ever happened or giving the series of events a more believable, for lack of a better word, backstory, it would be impossible for us to know the truth behind this play, or at the very least, what it's capable of doing to us. Those who are able to survive the event itself, as previously mentioned, will either have no recollection of it happening or be seen as a psychopath. To summarize, anyone who falls victim to the play's Outbreak, which happens on average just over 1 out of every 3 performances, will never be the same again if they find a way to survive the initial attack. Unfortunately, there would be no way of studying what the cause of the cast and audience members' actions stems from, simply because we wouldn't know what's happening. Of course, the SCP Foundation would need to be the ones to conduct this research, but it seems they are even stumped. So without any real way of stopping this play from outbreaking, it seems unfortunately, theater lovers and actors will fall victim to this play until the end of time. Of course, there's no guarantee that an outbreak would happen every time. That being said, the fact that a performance of a written literature can alter someone's mind is quite scary. Art is supposed to make people feel things. Whether it's happy, sad, angry, it's supposed to evoke emotion. And technically, all good art does evoke emotion. So in a sense, SCP-701 is real to a degree. Any films, TV shows, songs, plays, and so on that have ever made you feel any kind of way is the epitome of SCP-701. It may not necessarily make you do things you don't have much control over, but listening to a specific song at the gym because you feel it gives you the ability to lift more weight is the same as SCP-701 controlling people to act a certain way. Using the example of music at the gym, you may be conscious on the effect it has on you, but it's still affecting you nonetheless. So to wrap up, SCP-701 is in fact very real. Maybe there isn't a play that inspires people to go on a rampage and kill, but there have certainly been and will continue to be pieces of art, whether it's written, drawn, sung, filmed, that cause people to act certain ways. Not necessarily violent, but unfortunately sometimes. And before we do some comment replies, let me know in the comments below a piece of art that has affected you in some way. Good or bad, whether it made you happy, angry, sad, doesn't matter. Drop a comment below with what and why. And on that note, let's reply to some comments from the video. What if Siren Head fought Slenderman? Craig Fortnite said, bruh, I made a comment about this, thank you for listening. Well then shout out to you, Craig. I'm sorry I didn't shout you out in that original video, but I appreciate your suggestion. Truthfully, a lot of you guys wanted to see that, so we just wanted to give you guys truthfully what you wanted. Dragon Slayer said, wow, 0 for 3 for Siren Head. To my knowledge. Get good, Siren Head. Get wrecked, I think is what you mean to say, man. This guy's, the best way to put it is, he's a pea fart in a windstorm. If you guys don't know what that means, it means he's like nothing. Lost from Discord said, it's tendrils, not tentacles. You're right, it is. I said that Slenderman had tentacles, and it's not tentacles, it's tendrils. And I looked up the difference, and apparently tendrils are like little swirly things that come off of leaves and plants, and tentacles are what octopuses have. Or is it octopi? No, it's octopus have. It's not octopuses, I don't think. Someone look it up, let me know in the comments down below, the plural of octopus. I think it's just octopus, not octopi or octopuses. Anyways, guys, getting a little off topic here, so we're gonna wrap this one up. I've been your host, Jared Bronstein. You guys have been watching Life's Biggest Questions. Let us know in the comments down below what piece of art made you feel some type of way and why. Also, let us know if there's other SCPs you want us to cover, and we'll see you guys in the next one.